Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the New School Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Carswell, and on today's show, we are going to do our first ever solo cast episode. So again, hello, welcome. Make sure if you haven't gone to curiositylab.ai yet, you go ahead and check out our core platform. That's curiositylab.ai. And here on the New School Podcast, we've got one motto. That's out with the old, in with the new. Hit that like button, hit that repost button, reshare this interview, and let's get into it. So what I'd like to do, guys, is really just share, kind of my story, my background with you here today. So I'm not just some random guy to you, doing the show. And my journey begins in the beautiful city of Painesville, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. There's 6 of us Carswells all together, 4 boys, 2 girls, and had a great childhood growing up. Classic, traditional, middle-class American childhood in the suburbs. Went to 5 years of state-run elementary school, aka government indoctrination camps, then 3 years of middle school at a Lutheran government indoctrination camp, and then 4 years at a Catholic government indoctrination camp. Continued studies in Pennsylvania, where I got my degree in journalism, on camera in front of a microphone for almost 15 years now, which I didn't realize until just the other day. I was recapping on that. But awesome journey, and then also competed in athletics for 4 years while I was in college. Found an opportunity to go and play overseas for a little bit, basketball. I got my master's while I was overseas as well, which is a really cool experience. Pursued a career in coaching athletics for a few years. A pretty good job. Won a couple championships, all that good stuff, but realized pretty quickly I just realized I really liked basketball. I didn't love it. It was a ticket for me to go and see the world and do a bunch of cool things, but ultimately I think what I genuinely loved the most, and this is something I didn't uncover until recently in my life too. I've kind of always just thought it wasn't what I was obsessed with, but the more that I realize it is the creation of electronic music, house music. I've taken it very seriously the past 3 years. I'm sure as you guys listen to the show and get to know me more, you'll hear me talking about that realm. But anyways, I just say that because on this journey, I didn't uncover the house music thing until recently. What I ended up doing was saying, hey, you know what? I want to go get back into business. So after my coaching time was over, I got a job with Sherwin-Williams Paint Company, and I ran stores for them in Washington, D.C. for a few years. Then I got into real estate. I became a realtor with Remax Distinctive in McLean, Virginia. Awesome time there. That eventually led me into commercial real estate, and more specifically the world of raising capital, raising equity, where still to this day I run one of our inner circle mastermind programs at raisingcapital.com, unofficial sponsor of this show. If you guys want to go check out raisingcapital.com, you can. That's, as of right now, that is really what I do. So I met Boone, the founder of curiositylab.ai, and really the initial spark in mind behind this show, and also our co-host here, I should say. I had him on Dream Chasers, which is like my podcast that I've been doing since 2017. I had him on the show in 2021. We hit it off, but never really talked much. And then one thing led to another, and I recently needed help with someone who could create an app for a smartphone, which, by the way, if you are listening to the show and you didn't know that, the founder of curiositylab.ai is the best in the world as far as I'm concerned in like smartphone app creation. So if you're someone who's always wanted to create an app or you have an idea, he is 100% the person to talk to. So that was what brought me to him. I had an idea, which that idea actually is still kind of cooking on the back burner, but it really reignited our relationship and I would say created a friendship, because we only knew each other really through a mutual connection of me having him on the podcast and someone who had brought him to me in the first place. But now it's been great genuinely getting to know Boone, who's on the same fatherhood journey that I am, only he's a few years down the road. It's also to my benefit because I have 2 young children that are not anywhere near school age yet. So the pressure's really on Boone to deliver here and scale this thing up. So that way, I feel like I'm coming in at the perfect time where curiositylab.ai will really be built out in a way that my kids can leverage it when it's time. So that leads me to really why I'm here and why I want to do the show is I want to help Boone create something that I genuinely believe in can be the way that kids and people learn moving forward. I think the current system of learning is so outdated. The fact that there's not really a true emphasis on the world of apprenticeship. I know in the trades there's probably apprenticeship. I guess you have certain in-field learning experiences that you do depending on what direction you want to go with your future. But you look at, and I'm just going to use doctors as an example, but you look at surgeons or anyone who's had to go through years and years and years of school and memorizing questions to answers and just not even really being challenged to challenge the current system to finally get to that point where they can be someone who can do something like that. There's got to be something there that's not right about needing to do 18 years of staring at books in order to know how to be a good surgeon, right? Like, I'm sure if you just took someone who was serious and trained them for 5 years alongside a master, they would be just as good as someone who just looked at books and wrote down answers. That's kind of what excites me about this project. Is the whole goal is to really not even take out, I would say, the old system. That's not the right way to look at it. It's just provide more options, provide new solutions, provide new ways of thinking. If there's anything the years 2020 through 2022 really taught us, there's a system that exists that is not getting optimal results. And quite frankly, it's a little bit out of control at this point. It might as well just find a way to get it in our own control, in a way where we can be responsible for it. So, I've always said, especially since having kids, as long as my babies can read, they can write, they can do math. Truthfully, I find that to be a bulletproof way of approaching life, right? Is, can you read? Can you write? Can you do math? Can you do those three things? You can kind of go whatever direction you want to as far as your own genuine interests. I don't really know where I was going with that, other than it's just something that I find to be like exciting and kind of ties to the essence of the show, why I'm here, why I want to do it, why I want to get to know you. Which, by the way, if you are just tuning into the show for the first time, check out our first couple episodes. They'll really give you a more clear understanding of where we want to take this thing. And also just drop in the comments like thoughts, recommendations. We are really looking for seasoned professionals who can provide an expedited solution to getting to that end result faster. For example, and I'm sure we'll have him on the show as a guest here soon, but like the godfather of my children, he's a retail real estate master, triple net leases, shopping centers. Like, he knows that world, and I'm confident he could say, hey, if you're 12 years old and you want to learn this industry, you don't have to wait until you have a degree. Like, you can literally learn this industry now. You can learn how to input information into a spreadsheet now. You can learn how to, again, underwrite an shopping center. You can learn how to go check out the facilities. The fact that we have all these things in place right now where you have to, be a certain age to do a certain thing. One thing that I thought was really cool that I talked to Boone about is helping kids who come through curiositylab.ai write and publish a book and profit from it, right? Like, what better way to learn how to be an entrepreneur and how to write and how to become an author than to actually do it, like actually do it in the learning process instead of just learning how to do it. So kind of use that as the example of the direction it looks like I see curiositylab.ai going. I'm sure Boone could shed some light on it as the founder. It's things like that that really get me pumped up to be doing this show and interviewing people that can help speed this process up. So last thing I'll say is, again, if you haven't gone to curiositylab.ai and checked it out, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, if you haven't already liked this post, please go ahead and do that. It's going to help us get this out in front of more ears and eyes and make a bigger impact. We are building something new here. It's a new genre of learning, and we want you to be a part of it. And just being in such a young phase of the show, any recommendations from you, yes, you listening or watching right now, would be highly, highly valued. So always feel free to reach out and let us know what you want to see more of and that type of thing. All right. Well, this has been episode 3 of the New School Podcast, where we live by one motto. That's out with the old, in with the new. I'm your host, Adam Carswell. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you in the next episode. Remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.